Hello and welcome back. So this next video is going to be general accommodations for classes and school in general. So there are some things that should be taken into account. First of all, each person will need special accommodations based on what they're going through. So take that into account. Review what your child needs to be able to have the best time in class and go with that. Second, some basic things are most classes have writing. Is that hard for your child? And is there a way that for some people actually writing by hand is easier than using a typewriter? And even that from that, there are voice recorders, things like that may help. Figure out which one's best for your child and talk to the school about getting accommodations for that. Almost every class, especially ones that I haven't done separate videos for already, will have some form of writing that needs to be done. So figure out which way is the best for that one for your child and go to the school with that. Another thing, liquid. Some schools are only 40 minutes. Some schools are 2-hour classes. And a lot of times you will be told no liquid in the classroom at all. Nothing in the classroom, no foods, no liquids, anything. You can review if you feel your student's okay with that. But for administrators, be aware, most people with EDS have a higher liquid intake need, including many of them need extra electrolytes, to the point where some are better off drinking straight water with electrolytes in or electrolyte drinks rather than ever drinking water. So, approach your school with that. Your kid's school, or if you're an administrator, be aware of that. For my kids, they need to have electrolytes. If they don't, I have one who can make it the whole time, most of the time, but once in a while he gets too dehydrated and he needs to have it more often than the amount of time he's usually let go for that. My daughter, however, if she goes more than, I would say, 20 minutes without a drink, we can start to tell. So, please let them have access to that, especially if it's something, if they're more likely to pass out, things like that. It will mean they can do better in class, and they're more likely to actually be able to attend school with that. I will address in classes, science classes, in the science class video. So those are two big things. Another one, it may be beneficial to let someone with EDS go a little bit beforehand, before all the other class, a little bit early from class. Why? And or show up a little bit late. Why? Well, every school, I've never been to a school that class doesn't let out, everyone jumps out and pushes out the door, and the halls are full. Well, when it takes extra, when your muscles have to work to hold you in place, and you're more likely to dislocate, that crush can cause injury. So if you let them go, even just like 2 to 5 minutes early, usually by then kids are not listening to the teacher anyway. They're gathering everything up, everything else. If you can let them go that much early, it can get them at least some ways down the road. And if they can maybe even show up that much late, then they can how farther they can get before they get hit by the rush, or even possibly, depending on how big your school is or whatever, they may be able to be at the next classroom waiting when the previous one leaves, stand against the wall, let everyone rush out, and then they can calmly walk in and get themselves ready for class. Or the opposite way, they can stay in the class until it's about time students are starting to come in, go out, stand in the hall, and then work their way towards class. Talk to the student about what one works best for them, but those are some ideas that can definitely help them. Another thing, most will have painkillers that they need to take. Letting them keep them with them or making sure they have access to them will be a big beneficial thing and will allow them to be at school more often. Thank you for your time, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.